Starting off today's video, about to put my shoes on, and I was looking at my Vans. Now, I use these for driving. I love them. They're like low profile. They're not as good, obviously, as racing shoes, but they're small profile and really good for like when I'm just at Ebisu Circuit non-stop driving, and you can feel the pedal movement and stuff through them really, really well. This is my right shoe, obviously, for the accelerator. And look how much I've been driving with these shoes. I've literally worked a hole into the bottom of the Vans and to the side from me constantly just going like this on the throttle and that rubbing on the carpet in the bottom of the car. That's crazy when you think about it. I mean, all those days I did at Ebisu Circuit, I'm not really surprised, but I would have thought the Vans would have held up better. Anyways, I'll order another pair, but kind of interesting, hey. So today is actually a very special day. It is Mayumi's birthday. Yay! She's turned old now. We are currently in Odaiba. We're going to be having breakfast. Odaiba, my bad. Odaiba. We're in Odaiba and we're going to be having breakfast at Bill's, which is kind of like an Australian breakfast restaurant.
The Australians don't know.
That, yeah, Aussies don't know exists. It's in Japan. I highly recommend it. Birthday to you. Yay! Omedetou gozaimasu! We're here with everyone. May got a little plate. We're now just walking around here in Odaiba, and I found this Gacha store, and we got a Skyline Nissan collection here. So we're gonna test our luck, see how we go. We need 400 yen coins, 400 yen. All right, here we go, guys. What Skyline did we get? Whoa. Hell yeah, we got a 32 GTR. And they've got city ones, they've got BE1 ones. It's pretty cool. So I didn't really know this, but apparently here at Odaiba they have a miniature version of the Statue of Liberty. Huh, more you know. Been here for nearly, well, this is my 6th year now, and I did not know that. Also, you can kind of see through there the big floating Olympic barge with all the rings there. Not sure what's happening this year. I think they're planning to do the Olympics this year somehow, but I don't know. It's all pretty crazy right now. Weather's really nice today, nice and clear to look at everything. It's good.
So Rin-chan wanted to go on a merry-go-round, and apparently they can fit 2 more people on here. So Hayashi-san and Sam is going to be riding the merry-go-round together. What is that stick? I wish I can show you guys more. Ah, there you go. This lighting is better. Sam!
It's touching my brush.
What did you just say?
Nothing.
Hey, behave.
Whoa.
Damn it! No!
This is probably the most embarrassing thing I've done.
I don't think so. You've done way worse. Oh, okay, it's going around. What is this? The music. Oh, and then the girls are Sam, you gotta wave. You gotta wave at the girls. You waving? Did you wave at the girls? You're scaring him. You know, oh man, he's waving at the kids around. Rin-chan! Rin-chan! Enjoying.
Is that Rainbow Bridge? I think it is.
Yeah.
Looks so nice. They have this thing set up here for, they call it the Kiss, which is like a little jewelry store here. And they've set up Happy Padlock. Love Padlock, Happy Padlock. Is there a difference?
Sam, do you know where this comes from?
Isn't that thing in Korea?
Korea.
Oh wow, they put their names on here and lock it. Oh, it's a service.
I think it was in France, right?
Yeah, there's some wall somewhere or a fence that everyone puts a padlock on, right?
Yeah.
And you're meant, if you do that, you're meant to stay together forever. Someone put their own padlock here, look. But yeah, you're supposed to go into the kiss shop and you buy it, and they laser etch your names and stuff on here. I wonder if there's a section for people and their dogs, because that would actually be a big thing in Japan, believe it or not.
I would say 30%.
30% of this is probably people and their dogs. Like, we're not joking either. We're not like making fun of anything. It's just literally a thing. There's a fair bit here though. There's another whole row over here too. Oh, I need alcohol sanitizer. I just touched all those. My bad. It's a new day. I decided to spend the rest of the day yesterday hanging out with May, obviously being her birthday. I think that's pretty obvious. But that aside, we were in the merch room, and I just wanted to say a massive thank you to all of you that jumped on the merch drop. We pretty much sold out of all the beanies, hoodies, and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, we do still have a little bit of the Ichigozoku shirts left. And we do still have a lot of the sizes for the Chaser JZX100 100 Reasons to Drive shirt. And we do still have some Yada and Save the Legends, Evo shirts, and Function Over Form shirts. So, also, we got tons of lanyards still, so definitely jump on those guys. And the other great news is that every single person's order, we managed to finish packing yesterday night. DHL just picked it all up this morning, and you're all going to be getting your packages within 3 to 5 business days. So pretty much by the end of this week, most of you guys are going to have your merch, which is mind-blowing considering all the issues we have with JP Post and USPS and all the delays with COVID and C-mail and all that stuff. So thank you so much, guys, for believing in me, trusting me, and, you know, still with all of that stuff that happened with the Miata giveaway. And I know, like, literally, I'm still getting messages. I got an email today, literally from someone saying, hey, we just finally got our Miata merch stuff, which is just mind-blowing. And, like, they send pictures sometimes showing, like, because the dates that everything was sent, it was all shipped in August. So it's mind-blowing that it's taken this long, but also kind of understanding with the pandemic and how everything went down if you've been following all the you know, posts and stuff where I've been giving everyone updates. But that aside, no longer an issue anymore moving forward. We are using DHL solely now. Yes, costs a little bit more, but you're gonna get it super fast, super reliable. Any problems, they sort it out for you. So I think that's worth the extra. Anyways, that aside, we need to jump in the car, head to Yashio Factory. I gotta help him with the customer's car today. But yeah, jump on the merch, what's left. We should be getting new stock of hoodies and beanies. I don't know when though. I'll find out in the next 2 weeks approximately when we'll have it all available, and you guys will be able to grab some that missed out. Anyways, that guys, let's get in the car. Time warping ahead, we just arrived at Yashio Factory. I got the S15 here, and I don't know if you guys, I can't remember if I told you or not, but I've been having air leaking issues on this side, and I knew the tire was fine, and I suspected it was going to be like a valve issue, and right on the money there, boys. I don't know if you can see that too well, but she's a bubbler. She's a bubbler, all right. So it's just been slowly leaking out of the valve this whole time, and what I've been doing is just every morning I top it up. So yeah, you can really see it's a little bit. How you going there? Yeah. So we're gonna fix that today. It looks like it's like around the valve, because this is one of those like screw-in ones. So we may just replace it with the standard rubber one. I know Okachan has a bunch of new ones in there as well from Yokohama Wheels, so we'll switch that out as well. Other things on the agenda, I'm going to rotate and flip my front tires. As you guys know, I run a lot of camber and a fair bit of toe in the front, so that means the inside of my tire always wears a lot. So I'm going to flip them and rotate them so we get a bit more longer life out of them, especially after the last couple events we've done at Nikko. Nikko really shreds your front tires. But yeah, otherwise I've got some work to do on a Rocket Bunny S14 to help Okachan out. Yuta's gone to go grab that right now. Okachan's off doing something else right now for a customer, and then he'll be back later today. So kind of got the workshop all to ourselves. But how sick is this nice build? Nice big HKS top mount, their new GT3 series. Loving the fluoro yellow look on the top. And this one's getting a full Okachan Yashio Factory setting and tune and stuff on there. So things should be making some decent power. Anyways, I'm gonna get to work and pick up the camera once we get started. So the main thing that I'm working on is tidying things up and getting the oil pressure and temperature sensor. And we use these really awesome all-in-one Bosch sensors. They're super good, and it's essentially one sensor. It looks like this. This is a pressure only one though, but it looks like this, but it has the ability to do both pressure and temperature in one sensor, and they are freaking awesome. Never had a single problem with them. They're great. They're a 4-wire sensor though, so you need to run 4 wires to them, because obviously you got to give it voltage, you got to give it 5 volts, you've got to give it sensor ground, and then you've also got your sending wires for your temperature and pressure, right? So that's already in a sandwich plate behind the oil filter on the intake manifold. Your boy Yuta did that for me. Arigato, Yuta. So what I'm working on now is wiring it in. Now we're going to be using the expansions loom because we've already used a bunch of inputs and outputs on the OEM ECU for the IAT sensor and the wideband CAN lambda kit. So what I'm going to be doing is putting in a nice dish plug here. That's going to be for the 4 wires coming off the expansion loom out of the ECU there. You can see I've got a nice rubber grommet here as well. Super recommend doing that, lads, just so your wires don't rub up against anything sharp. I'm going to add another dish plug as well to the CAN bus wire that goes to the PowerTune digital dash that we have there, and that way everything's super easy to work on. And if ever you need to take the plug-in ECU out, everything's plug and play. Like we've already got a dish plugs on there, we've got the plug there for the USB, and everything will just unplug everything, and you can take the whole case out and everything instead of having to like, you know, undo the actual ECU here and plug out everything inside. It makes it just so much easier when you do that. So I'm gonna get that done, and then I'll show you guys how it's configured and set up. It's super awesome, and once you get your head wrapped around it, you'll be able to do this on your car, as well as, like, it's so good just having one sensor that does both jobs, because then you can fit other sensors in there for other things as well, and it just tidies up your engine bay so much more as well. And like, if ever one of those things fails, you just replace the one sensor. So it's just super, it simplifies things and makes it easier is what I'm trying to say. It's just like a no-brainer. So I'm gonna get that done. I'll show you the end result. So I finished putting the dish plug on this side of things, and I can't recommend using dish plugs enough. Like, they're so easy to use and just save a lot of time in the long run, I feel. They're also really strong. They're waterproof, water resistant, all that kind of stuff. Always use a bit of heat shield as well, just to like put on the tips here. It really helps hold everything together, and if for some reason the pins pull out, they're not really going to go anywhere. Also, it helps you just keep like everything separate. Like, see how this one here is nice, and like you can tell that these 4 wires belong together. And I'm going to put heat shrink on this. I'm not going to put a plug on this stuff. This is all like extra wires that they can use for other sensors in the future. So what I'm going to do is pretty much individually tape these, and then I'm going to heat shrink them, and that's just going to be there ready for you know, I guess more expansion in the future if the owner ever chooses to go down that route. I'm all finished with the S14 right now, and it's going up on the hoist. We're bringing my car in. He's going to fix the valve for me while I give the file with all the tables and the settings that I did so that that sensor would work. And I'm going to run you guys through just like how it works in the Link ECU. It's changed a lot since the G4 Plus plug-in ECU and the G4X. Actually, I really like the way that the G4X is done. It's simplified it a lot more, but I'll show you in a little bit. But yeah, this Rocket Bunny S14 is pretty cool. Can't wait to see what the owner thinks of it now. He's got a full Link and a full PowerTune digital dash. So I got my laptop open to show you guys how simple it is to set this up. Now, the first thing you want to realize is that the inputs that are going in, the temperature input and the pressure input, they're both analog inputs. Now, under here, under the analog input section here in your Link ECU, you've got 2 options here. Well, you've got a fair few options here for like fuel pressure and fuel temperature, but obviously we did oil pressure and oil temperature today, which are these 2. And all you have to do is select the oil pressure and then point it to where you wired it in on the ECU. Now, I wired it into the analog voltage input 6, so I select that, put in some values here, and point it to the calibration linear cal table 1. And then, well, let's stick to this first. So oil pressure first, because the temperature is a little bit different. And then we've got calibration tables down here, and we're going to select that linear 1 cal that we have set up here for the calibration, right? So we're going to select that, and this is what you have to do when you have a sensor that is not like by default in the software and configured and ready to go. So we're giving Link, the ECU, the values that it needs in a table to know what pressure levels what, right? So we're just like teaching it how to read the sensor. So under linear cal 1, oh yeah, we already got that open. you can see here that it's pretty much just a simple voltage thing. So we've gone input value A, so this is the minimum voltage here, 0.50, and then you've got 4.50, and that's where it's max value and lowest value of the voltage that it's going to read, and that is going to output into pressure. We've selected output value 0, so that's the lowest point there, and then 1000 kPa at the highest voltage point. And then the ECU is able to go, okay, well, if the voltage I'm reading from the pressure sensor is like, you know, 2 volts, then that equals this amount of pressure. So that's very, very simple. And then for temperature, things get a little bit more confusing with temperature, especially if you're using, like I said, a sensor where you need to use a calibration table. Because it's done by ohms, so things can get a little bit confusing. So we're pointing this to not a linear table, but we're pointing it to a calibration table 3. So if we go to cal table 3 here, first you also need to just say, hey, this table's being used for input value ohms and output value temperature, and then you want to go to the table itself. You can do that by just double clicking on that. And then this axis across the top here is ohms, and then this is the temperature value that you put in there. So if the ECU sees 9,195 ohms, that equals negative 10 degrees Celsius. And obviously if it sees 72 ohms, that's 140 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I just wanted to run you guys through this. I know it's a bit technical, and it's not like, normally I don't really go into too much depth with this stuff, but I know a lot of people were asking about Link and how simple it is to set this stuff up, and it really is. Also, if you just use a sensor that's already in here, and by the way, the Link support team are always adding new sensors in here. So if we just go back here to like oil temperature, and under calibration here, if I was using a sensor that Link actually provided, I just select it here, and then it instantly does, and I don't have to do any of that table stuff. But I really like those Bosch sensors because they are one sensor with the 2 functionalities built into the one, so that's why I prefer them. But yeah, you can see they have a lot of different options here, and different sensors that you can use in model numbers and stuff, which is really good. But I just prefer using that Bosch one. They do have like other Bosch part numbers here for pressure too, if you get yourself a hand on those, and a lot of the standard sensors that you can get on the market are already in here. But Link will be releasing more and more as the updates come out, so it's really handy to know. Tonight we're eating at a Japanese steak restaurant, and this is what the menu looks like. I'm pretty excited. Oh boy. All right, lads, things are getting serious. We got to bring out the aprons, getting the aprons out. This is kind of like a low-key happy birthday dinner for Okachan. It's a bit late though, so looking good. Yuta, Ina. And this is tonight's meal. Oh yeah, we also got a side of rice. I know it's kind of weird, like when you think about steaks and how they're served in Australia and like America, but this is pretty good. We got pepper, butter, and garlic all under the steak there. It's gonna taste real good. Back home now, guys, and I just want to say I'm sorry that this video is going to be all over the place, and quite frankly that's just because the last couple days have been all over the place, but nonetheless I had a really good time spending some quality time with May for her birthday, carrying on into today, finishing up that S14 for Okachan and just polishing that up. I learned so much from that project, just the tuning aspect of things, like obviously with Link and stuff, like you know, we've been working together and I've been teaching him what I know, how to set it up, all the wiring, and helping him understand the sensors and configuring it in the software. But when it comes to actually tuning, that's his expertise. So you know, for him to be able to teach me, and what he got me to do is like, I was literally manning the computer and he told me everything I needed to do, like where he wanted ignition timing, didn't want ignition timing, and all that kind of stuff. So I have a way better, more in-depth understanding now with SRs and where they like it and where they don't like it, what's safe and not safe and all that kind of stuff. So it was really, really beneficial for me. So I'm excited about that, and just getting more and more experience with tuning is something that I am really excited about, because I do want to be able to tune my own cars. I have this stupid dream of having my own dyno, like just I want to be able to do that kind of stuff, and I think it's I'm just really grateful that I've got such a good teacher in this area. But anyways, that aside, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Smash that like button, write a comment, go get some merch, what's left, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video, painting at the shop with May. It's going to be a fun one. Peace out. Jamata.